So good to see family and friends. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to the Flying Doctor channel once again, and welcome to this little challenge that's been set for me by family, and that is to find a river, follow it into some kind of capital city, whatever, and also can I fly under a bridge, and do we have any water planes or float planes? And so yeah, that's what we're going to look at today. And I thought, I've done London before, I can do it again, but I thought, I know London, I haven't explored Europe, so I tried following the Danube. Now, that's a whole thing. I mean, it's a very, very long river anyway. It runs right from the Black Sea all the way through, you know, and right to Germany and beyond. But suffice to say, that was a little bit too much of a challenge, really. I mean, it's possible to do, but then I thought, what about Paris? I not thought about that, and then I found out I needed to do two things. Firstly, was that if we flew from, say, Alderney, you could follow the Seine in. You could follow the northern part of the French coast in, and then you could follow in on the Seine, and then it's still quite a way. So we're actually flying today in this Boeing T-45. As you can see, it's inching towards. This is actually built on effectively what is a Hawk, but it's heavily modified for the United States Marines, so even more feeling like a Hawk than it was before. So here we are overlooking Paris at the moment. My idea was that we could fly in from a northern part on the coast and follow the Seine in. So actually we're going to fly from Alderney, fly from a British territory right through, and I thought we would fly with a fast jet first to Charles de Gaulle, and the reason for that is actually we're covering a considerable distance, and if you try and do it in anything that's flying at sort of less than 100 knots, we'll be there all day. And then we're actually going to transfer into something smaller. That's a little surprise for later, and then have a little bit of a fly round Paris and follow the river that way. So just as a reminder, if you're using Navimap, right click on the map gives you quite a few options to add destinations and build your flight plan. The other thing is that OpenStreetMaps we're looking at here, but we can vary the map we're looking at, and I found that helpful when I was just trying to pick out the rivers, because it's not always that clear. So I think I found that the terrain map was actually quite helpful. The blue there is a little bit clearer. You can see the Seine. It's not, the view's not actually bad on open topography as well. It's a very bright, vivid blue, and you can make out the Seine and where it is itself. And so there you go. We were looking at OpenStreetMap before. It's sort of, I think, a lot clearer in sort of picking out the pinks of the navigation kind of markers that we've got here. So let's just zoom right out, and you get an idea about what I'm talking about. So the scale is quite significant. You're talking about from where we will fly from to Paris itself is a good 200 miles. Jersey, Guernsey over here, and Alderney. I thought Alderney would be a good place to start. So we're going to start here in the fast jet, and I have done a route, so I'll just highlight it for you. You can see the route on the left here. We're going to go just to view, and we're going to go show flight plan, and it will pop up. Okay, so I may deviate from this, but as I pass roughly the markers, they'll automatically get ticked off. So flying from Alderney, depending on the wind direction that we get today, it might be flying in the opposite direction to start off with, and then loop around the island, and then just hitting the northern tip of France here, then through past Cherbourg, and then down. There's option to follow the coast all the way here, but I may well fly higher just to give us an idea of the lie of the land. It's significant. We passed Bayeux at one point. There it is there, home of the famous tapestry, and major centre here, Caen, of course. And then if we were to just on this flight plan just track left slightly, we would be right in line to fly over the Normandy beaches. There's Normandy Airport there, and then we're into the entrance to the Seine, just here next to LeHavre. And so just coming out, you can see there's the wiggly, windy route. I may not fully stick to this, but we'll definitely hope to sign off on the waypoints. because we'll see what it's like flying in the fast jet. There are some quite tight turns, but we just want an idea of what the scenery around looks like. So there you go. The WP are just neutral waypoints, and the purple, of course, are the navigation markers that are routinely used. So as you can see, we're just flying through some key places here. Very wiggly. One of the things you notice that you can see is that there are areas that are flat on one side of the river and then steep escarpments, and they reverse around depending where you're heading. So we go through Rouen as a major centre and follow the river all the way around, past Val du Roule just there, and travelling all the way down. And you can actually see it very clearly on the map there. You can actually see this sort of 3D impression that it's giving you, saying this area is particularly steep here. And then we just begin to enter into Paris. I was going to try and follow this all the way around, and as you can see, the flight plan takes us round so that we skirt the south of Paris. We'll get a good look, come up, and then fly, and then we're flying to Charles de Gaulle. We're actually going into runway 26 right, which is just up here. So that's the route. Hope you appreciated. Hope you appreciate that, and that gives you sight. As I say, it's quite a long way to go, so I'm going to try and vary it as we fly in, and I'm going to try and just make sure that we get some height up here as well, so we can have a good look around and try and see things in context. So that's the plan. As I say, when we get to Charles de Gaulle, there'll be a special treat. Going to switch around for the second part of the video, and we're going to have a little bit of a closer tour and a look at the Orbix scenery. Okay, so look forward to seeing you in a second. Right, so here we are. We're just come off the world map, and we've just set the loaded the flight plan, and we've just set the conditions. So I've put the time of day so 6 o'clock over in France, and that I found the sun's rising in the east and the west. It's given us some beautiful scenes actually. So 7 o'clock our time at the moment. There we go, roughly. There you go. I haven't put it onto live weather. I put it onto a few clouds. I just want to make sure that we can see. But the weather doesn't look too bad. Just mainly sort of cloudy, but visibility looks pretty good. We've got live traffic in the air, just so that we've got some realism around us as well. So that's where we are, and you can see from Alderney to Charles de Gaulle. I'm just going to go back, and you can see that route imported now. Remember how to do that? Go to load, save, and load the route in, and there we go. Just a warning, once you have loaded on the route in, that is it, because change any of this there and the whole thing falls apart. It's a particular weakness, I think, in Microsoft sort of flight simulator itself. So let us just press the fly button. So we are, told you it would look pretty. So I'm just checking what runway we're on. Runway 26, which is facing the opposite direction. So actually we are going to skirt around the island and then find out where we need to be. Okay, so different aircraft that we're in at the moment. So it is actually, it really does look like a Hawk, but it's just, to be honest, it's a lot more updated equipment. I've made a few changes so that some of the way markers are going to appear on the screen as we go. But for the moment, we'll just look around the outside of the aircraft again. We'll just have a quick look. There we go. And there's Alderney Airport itself. It does look beautiful. We're going to get our skates on as we come around the island, and because we don't have much runway, but we have more than enough to take off on. So there we go. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording the flights, from here. I'm going to use something called the flight recorder control replay, just in case you've not seen how that happens. First I'm going to connect it to the sim. Oh, that's nice, and it's telling me. And they go, oh, you got all kinds of things here, but I'm actually going to record the trip right here on a file. It's going to say, do I want to replace it? Yes, I do. And then it's recording automatically now. Can remove that off the screen, and that will be absolutely fine. Okay, it does feel actually the sort of it's a different sort of shape of canopy that I'm looking at here, but it does feel, on the other hand, it does sort of seem to sort of suit me very well. Seems to be working. I'm just getting used to this aircraft itself. As we see, I think we can just change. Also, don't forget you can change the views. using the camera. Smart cam, we can put that on so the camera will tend to look to wherever we need, and also upper position is not bad for takeoff as well. So yeah, okay. Right, so let's just try and get going using the up key there. Just to, so noticed the balloon and noticed also the vehicles. Done some updates using Flight Sim IO, and yeah, so they've found their additions to the airport. So nice to see a little bit more life, a little bit more traffic. Right, on we go. Let's fly away then. There we go, on full power, release brakes. And pull up.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, please expedite your climb to 10,000 feet.
Okay, so that's what we're heading for there for Hay.
Tango Charlie 051 breast center continuous plant.
Just going to give you a look at the outside of the aircraft. And change the view mode. There we go. So that's just Alderney. We've just taken off and just turned swiftly round from. So we're at 5,000 feet. Might be nice just to get some height. That's looking across onto the French mainland there from the port side of the aircraft. That's the opposite side, that'll be looking across to the UK. 9,000 feet. Obviously straight down view there. Behind. Okay, I'm going to level out at 10,000 feet. Got 12,000 feet. We'll lower some power. Okay, so we're quite high up now, and you can just see, whoa, look at that, it's beautiful. Beautiful picture there. At 12,000 feet of the French coast, and you can see where we're headed. There's Cherbourg there. See actually the airport in front of us there. So Cherbourg and the harbour itself. So around about 10,000 feet now. Just dropping to 10. A view to the left again. You can see. Pretty sure that you can see Britain there. It's only 20 mile away, of course. Or a bit longer this part of the coast. I'll just drop down.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, you are 6,300 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 10,000 feet QNH to 9.902. Speedbird 2772 heavy, you are 43 miles north. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, expect ILS runway 26 approach by Juliet Sierra Yankee transition. Clear to Juliet Sierra Yankee.
Climb and maintain 10,000 feet, Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, expect ILS runway 26 approach by Juliet Sierra Yankee transition, clear to Juliet Sierra Yankee, Speedbird 2772 heavy.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, you are 300 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet QNH to 9.902.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051. 10,000 feet, Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
I've done my usual trick there of managing to overlay the beautiful scenes coming down here.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, please expedite your climb to 10,000 feet.
400, 500 feet, just over, just passing.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, please expedite your climb to 10,000 feet.
Feet, as you can see at the moment. It's going to be far more restricted inside the cockpit itself, so there we are, and now we're going to fly over Bayeux itself. So this is slightly later in the day. You can just see below us where we are.
Alpha Tango, Charlie 051, contact Paris Center on 119.825. 119.825 for Padre Alpha Tango, Charlie 051. Paris Center, Padre Alpha Tango, Charlie 051 is out of 10,600 feet for 10,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 Paris Center, continue as planned. QNH 29.92.
So just this is Dives sur la Mer, just on the right here, and we're at 8,000 feet. Just lowering, and we're coming down to the Normandy beaches right now. Quite a rapid descent. Not quite sure why we're getting this sort of wiggle on. As you see, we're 20 kilometres away from what is in effect the entrance to the River Seine. Feet. And Normandy beaches, I suspect. There we go.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, please expedite your climb to 10,000 feet.
And you can see LeHavre will just be to our left here. We'll go and have a look at that, why not? Just see what we can find. Just pull up nice and tight. There's LeHavre itself. As you can see, about 1,000 foot up we are. We'll come round and have a look. Again, much the same, turn, pull, tight. There we go, so there's LeHavre here. Impressive. And just below us, to the right, is the Seine. So we'll... It's a nice contrast. So I've been away, must have been about 3/4 of an hour. So it's a nice contrast really to come back. And so, although the sim is paused, the time of day changes, so you get to see what would happen if you were flying over that same area. So here we go, into the mouth of the Seine, right here. Next waypoint about 20 kilometres away. Try and keep centre. So there we go. That's where we're heading. We've just come over. Very low, as you can see here. So I will point out what will come out across here, if I can. I'm useless at pronouncing French anyway. I'm going to, with your permission, just cut off this leg, so to speak. Come round, we can see where the river's going. Then we're going to begin to see this feature here around the Seine, where the Seine has got pretty steep sides on one side and tends to be flat on the other. And when this becomes obvious, begins to become obvious here. Here we go. Just give you a bit of altitude here to give you a sense of where we are heading. You see the Seine just curling around, that loopy curl. So as you can see, this is what it looks like from 7,000 feet. If you're interested in the view from the aircraft itself, from within the aircraft, there we go. That's what we're looking at. Okay, it's very clear there. It'll probably be clearer if we move down. That. So Rouen is just across over there. They can just see, there it is. Just going to bank very sharply.
Conrad Alpha Tango Charlie 051 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Conrad Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
You can see Rouen itself. Obviously on the banks of the river. Got a massive industrial area here. Lovely bits of detail. The railway track, cathedral there. See the curling of the Seine there in the distance. We're just going to come off here, come right the way round, rejoin the Seine. Just here. can see how there's lots of different tributaries and there's sort of low-lying areas that clearly get flooded.
125.7 for Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051. Terrace Center Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 is at 5,000 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
QNH 29.92. Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, contact Terrace Center on 119.825.
119.825 for Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051. Terrace Center Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 is at 1,100 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, Terrace Center, continue as planned. QNH 29.92.
And again, you see these great looping curls. There's another one there, you see.
1 miles west. Keep speed below 300 knots. Expect ILS runway 27 right approach via MOPA transition. Clear to MOPA.
And there's the Seine, which is just following broadly. You can see how it's sort of splitting out. It's a bit of a messy river, isn't it, really?
Clear to LeHavre Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, contact Terrace Center on 125.7.
It's Port Moore.
Going to 125.7 Padre
There.
Alpha Tango Charlie 051. Terrace Center Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 is at 700 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, Terrace Center, continue to MOPA as planned.
You can see the lay of the land a little bit more there as the follow the course of the river, and you can see both sides quite built up. Now it should become increasingly acute just as we come round to our left here. So I'm just going to fly low, and things should get very acute. This is Saint Marcel here. And we're just going to follow round. And we should find, according to the map, that as we go round this curve, the area to our left becomes steeper and built up. So let's just see what we can find. Again, it's quite steep, so it's going to require a little bit of...
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, please expedite your climb to 11,000 feet.
Yeah, you can just see it there. You see this ridge that's coming up clearer. You can see Charentes 7 kilometres away. Less now, obviously. This is 300 foot.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, contact the Gaulle approach on 125.83.
And quite a steep escarpment there on the left of the trees, I know. This is going to come round steeply, I know, to the right. Very steeply. There we go.
Charlie 051 is at 300 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 to Gaulle approach, continue to MOPA as planned. QNH 29.92. Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, contact Terrace Center on 125.7.
125.7 for Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051. Terrace Tango Charlie 051 is at 300 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, Terrace Center, continue to MOPA as planned. QNH 29.92.
Let's just take a look and see where we're going. There we go.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, contact the Gaulle approach on 125.83.
125.83 Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
This is Limay here.
The Gaulle approach Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 is at 2,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 to Gaulle approach, continue to MOPA.
Obviously industrial zone.
QNH 29.92. Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051, climb is maintained
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
And we're not far off the centre of Paris now. It's not that far away in flight time. There's a major rail terminus around here. Verneuil de Seine. V-E-R-N-E-U-I-L de Seine, S-E-I-N-E, or Seine. To our right, let's just level up. Should be, yeah, there is a train. See the Seine. Oh, just 10 again. You can see how it. There we are. Let's just lift up and just see what we got. You see that? All the way back. 5,000 feet now.
Climbing through 4,600 feet for 12,000 feet.
Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 Paris Center. Continue to PG 534 as planned. QNH 29.902. Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051 contact to call approach on 125.83.
125.83 for Padre Alpha Tango Charlie 051.
There's Paris there.
Is
that Paris?
Yes.
Oh, we're doing a roll as well, may as well.
Continue to PG 534 as planned. QNH 29.902.
I'm just going to loop around so we get this. I'm going to follow the Seine in, which is just below us. Let's do a loop around so we can do that properly. Okay, so now we're going to join where we were. You can see the Eiffel Tower there just in the distance. And here we go. So things are likely to get a bit more juddery now, folks. Sorry about that. It's because of the amount of scenery that the sim is trying to load. Very built up, but still not bad at all. Where we require a little bit of concentration. I'll lower the speed a little bit. There we go. You can see the runway lights just front and left there. Not sure what that is. Not going to distract myself at the moment. There we go, these are all the way markers, not way markers, these are all points of interest we've got now. Sorry for the... of which there's quite a few. So you can see we're just slowing now, it's 350 knots. As is orbit scenery here. Grand Arche de la Défense. Trocadero there. We shall see more of it as we follow the river round. So this is right now heading towards the southern side of Paris. Oh, lovely cars. Nice modelling there. I'll try and just get as low as I can. Need a little bit more power actually. Gives me more manoeuvrability. These nearest references will come up. Military School, Eiffel Tower, you can see. We're just getting little signals of where we are and what's happening around us. Okay, so Eiffel Tower's just there on the right. Grand Palais there. Little Palace as well. Arc de Triomphe coming up. That's the Louvre there, you can see on the left. You've got Arc de Triomphe and the Louvre. Whoa, let's not crash. Notre Dame. And we're just right slap bang pretty much in the centre of Paris now. Obviously those markers are pretty much central, but the true centre as well. Nice little view looking back. And now I think we need to think about landing this thing, don't we? Okay, I'm going to start heading. There we go. Just flying low there. I'm just going to start heading kind of a little bit northeast. Still lovely, lovely views. Charles de Gaulle Airport must be around 20 miles to our left. I suspect that's what's there. 11,500 feet, 47.3 kilometres away. We're making our way there. Just wondering if you find any other interesting sort of sights on the way. There's a major railway, looks like a major railway sidings intersection, I'm not sure. Just on the left, and as we fly over this lake on the right, see if the sim has picked that up. It has. No locos on it, but nevertheless still there. I think there was a loco actually.
Padre Alpha Tango, Charlie 05, 1 to Gaulle Tower. Cleared ILS runway 27 right approach. QNH 29.9er, 2 with 271 and 7.
So that's not easy, I should have done it the other way. There we go.
ILS runway 27
So you can
right
see the
approach,
airport there.
Padre
We're going
Alpha
for...
Tango, Charlie 051.
That's not the right airport, you can see 350 feet. I don't know what that's saying exactly. It looks like a helipad rather than an airport. Let's just see what we can find here.
Padre Alpha Tango, Charlie 051, cleared to land runway 27 right. 127.
Okay, so we're actually, I'm not comfortable in that I'm wanting to find the flight path in, so yes, that 11.3, that 10k over there, it actually says 350, I have no idea why it says 350 feet on there, but this is the other indicator as well, saying that we're just coming across here because I was going to fly into, this is at 3,000 feet, which you shouldn't be doing. This is crossing the descent path for the Bourg airport. Now that is that airport there that's just under 10k away. That's pretty accurate. We're having to fly into Charles de Gaulle, which is, I'm just moving this way to hit the flight path. It's about 5 nautical miles ahead of us before we start to slow and turn. According to Navimap here, and this Navimap is very wrong. I have to admit, I would be much happier to be seeing the airport by now though. So we're going to head, we're on British runway 26. We're just going to head for as we take a left now. Change our bearing. .260, there we go. You can see 2 runways in front of us. And if you don't mind, I'm now going to switch in. Watch the vertical line come to the centre as we cross the middle of the runway. There we go. Watch the lower horizontal bar channel 2 intersecting.